Before I dive into today's topic, I want to speak to you directly. You may have just stumbled across this channel, never met me before, don't know anything about me. I set this up to help people not go through the struggles that I went through. I know what it's like to be in a dark place. I know what it's like to struggle, and I don't want that for you. But right now, if you're listening to this and that is you are in a dark place and you feel a bit helpless and don't know where to turn, please reach out. You can find my contact details down below. Reach out on Instagram. I will happily jump on a call with you to help signpost you and put you in the right direction, or just to be there to listen. There are people in your life that care. There are people that aren't in your life, that don't know who you are, that still care. Please reach out for help. This comes off the back of a week where I've had more people than I care to divulge struggle. And I mean really struggle. A few of them have been close to me personally in my life. Others have been clients of mine whose friends have been struggling. And there seems to be a lot of people right now that don't know where to turn and think there's only one way out. If this is you, please, please, please reach out. Now today, I want to dive into how my 11-month-old Rottweiler, a proper picture up here, might be able to help you on your self-improvement journey. And this comes off the back of a walk from this morning where, for those of you that don't know about training a puppy, you kind of go through certain stages. So you've got to teach them basic commands because they don't know anything. And the way that you do that is through repetition. So you teach them how to sit, how to stay, and you go into certain situations and they look to you for guidance on what to do because they don't know. They don't know an appropriate way to interact with people. They don't know an appropriate way to interact with kids, with bikes, with traffic, with other dogs. So you've got to teach them how to keep themselves safe so they can go and enjoy themselves in whatever capacity that means to them. And today I was at a crossroads looking which direction to walk with Luna. And I saw a group of dogs coming in one direction and a clear path in the other. I decided to go towards this group of dogs and people. And the reason why I did that is because I wanted to see where she was at. I wanted to see how she'd respond and where she was at with the training. And I feel like that's what a lot of us avoid. We avoid these kind of test days. We do all the stuff, behind closed doors. Maybe we read, maybe we listen to podcasts like this. We go to seminars, workshops, whatever it is. But we don't ever give ourselves the opportunity to see how far we've come. We avoid that struggle. Because maybe we kind of went into a situation like that before and didn't work out so great. So we double down and try and learn more stuff. Never actually going back into that situation that challenged us to see how far we've come. And I work with a dog trainer to train Luna to make sure that she's making the right progress. And he's always said to me that you're going to go into these situations and sometimes the dog's just going to have a bad day. And as long as you come away from that and ask yourself, how could you have handled it differently? What could you personally, not the dog, what could you personally have done differently to handle that situation? What can you learn from this? Then that's okay. But he says, you've always got to put yourself in those situations to see where the dog's at. Because without that, how are you going to know what needs to be worked on? And that goes for us. Maybe we avoid social situations because we get nervous and anxious. Maybe we avoid putting ourselves out there in the dating scene because we are anxious about what people are going to think or what to say. And again, if this is you, then I've got a podcast coming up with a guest in the next couple of weeks, specifically about dating. But each time, it's asking myself, right, well, if it didn't go to plan, why not? Is there something that you could have done differently? Because what we like to do is just acquire knowledge. As I mentioned, we listen to podcasts, read books, workshops, seminars, whatever it is. So we like to acquire knowledge. But what we really need is understanding. And understanding is the next level on. Understanding is a comprehension of knowledge, meaning that we can apply it into real life situations. We can recall it and we can use it. It's the application of knowledge, because knowledge is just potential. I think sometimes this is where we get stuck on our journey, because we're gaining so much knowledge and awareness, but when we don't actually get the comprehension and understanding of it, we get put into situations that we don't know what to do. We don't know how to apply this knowledge in these situations. Where actually, if we put ourselves into these situations that we're trying to improve on, that's how we can gain an understanding. Because when we come away from that situation, we can ask ourselves, out of that emotionally volatile situation, we can say, Well, what would I have done differently? What could I have done differently? And that's then when you're tapping into your knowledge to ask yourself, how could I have applied this knowledge in that situation? Because that's what we ultimately want to do. Because I feel like when we constantly are trying to gain more knowledge and more understanding, and I've been guilty of this myself, sometimes I feel like things aren't quite going right, so I'll study a bit more or I'll read more books. But sometimes that's not what I need to do. What I need to do is get a better understanding of the knowledge I've actually got and ask myself, how can I apply that to the thing that I'm currently struggling with? Because sometimes learning more things, learning more knowledge can actually paralyze you, because it makes you feel more helpless. Because knowledge wasn't the issue, it was the understanding and application of the knowledge which was the problem. So for me to get a better understanding of the knowledge that you've got, when you're learning stuff, whether it is a podcast or a book, when you come away from that situation, anything that made you think, whether it was a particular paragraph, and sometimes you get a highlighter pen and you just highlight it, that doesn't do much. Or maybe on a podcast, someone says something really profound and you're like, yeah, that's me. Rather than just sitting with that and letting it pass by, sit with it and rewrite it in your own words so that you're really understanding it. Okay, why have I highlighted this? Why have I highlighted this? And what situations in the past would this have been useful for? Or what situations potentially coming up might this help me out with? Same with the podcast. Because then what you're doing is you're applying this knowledge to situations, you're getting a better understanding. And the more you understand these things, the more likely you are to use them in a situation. Just like when I'm walking into a group with dogs and other people, I now have a better understanding of, right, here's what I'm going to do to make sure that Luna's okay and she understands what's going on. So just think about the next time you're in a situation. Are you trying to pick the easy path, which allows you to stay in this safe comfort zone of knowledge, or are you looking for situations to apply the knowledge that you're trying to understand? Don't avoid these difficult situations. Allow yourself the space to push yourself. And as I said at the very start, if you're struggling, please look at my Instagram down below. It's the Prime Life Project on Instagram. Please drop me a message and I'll happily arrange a free call. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm not here to sell. This podcast costs me money each month. I set up provisionally to get information out there. I'm here to genuinely help you. I'm here because I care. Each week, I'm perfectly imperfect. I'm still on this journey myself. The information I'm sharing with you guys is just stuff that I think about each week and stuff that I've either implemented, heard, or think would be beneficial from all the stuff that I've learned. I'm not perfect. I'm far from it. But I will happily point you in the right direction or give you any guidance that you need. And if you think that someone that you know needs to hear this information, don't forget to share it with them. Until next time, take it easy.